As coaches, you want to get your athletes as strong as possible without jeopardizing their speed and quickness. The Exploder does just that. Triple extension lifts are the key to more powerful movements, and the Exploder bar was designed to allow these exercises to be performed in a safe and effective manner. And it's a great way to condition core muscle groups and ligaments. The Exploder bar is built for athletes who are looking for speed, strength, and explosion. Check it out at premierathleticssolutions.com.
Here today with Coach Will Compton of your Hutto Hippos. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you having me on.
You are welcome. Now, we're in the spring, which means 100 different things are going on. All the sports, all the academic competitions, all that is going on. Spring football and graduation's right around the corner. But you're getting to see your kids out there in the weight room, in spring football, and out in other sports. How are things going in the spring?
I think we've had a fantastic offseason. This is, for me coming in June, a little bit late, didn't get an offseason with the guys last year. And so being able to come through after our season and truly have just our full offseason together, full weight room, really establish those expectations, help create even better leaders that we have on our team. I think it's been phenomenal. We have a lot of kids that do multiple sports. Getting to see them compete in track and basketball as well as baseball has been phenomenal. And then now into spring football, it's great just to be back around football again.
So, kind of walk us through your team for the fall. What we're going to have on the field. Who you're losing to graduation, and who do you have back, and what roles people might fill.
Absolutely. I'll kind of start with who we're losing, because those guys are they're tough to replace. Number one that we're losing is Brody Bueno. He's a 4-year starter for us here at Hutto. He started for him at Mike linebacker. Also played a little bit of tight end. He's going to the University of Air Force Academy. He'll be there. And we're losing Kenny Settles, who's a safety, going to Central Oklahoma. And losing Jalen Banks, our running back, Jalen Parkinson, outside linebacker. All those guys are going to be very tough to replace. Losing 2 offensive linemen that we think we have some good replacements for those guys. But those are going to be the tough guys to replace, going forward. Who we're going to have on the field, kind of starts. We always say it starts with the trigger man, Will Hammond, who's a verbal Texas Tech commit. Had a really breakout junior year. Thought he had a phenomenal year overall. Really started to pick up some steam back into the sophomore year. Really kept that off with a great junior year, and has had a fantastic off season. Next, kind of that's picking up some attention is Alex Green, our wide receiver. Finished the year last year with 43 catches for 900 yards. Has picked up about 6 or 7 Division I offers. Another kid that's part of our leadership council and has had a really great off season. Preston Honeycutt is offensive tackle, key play for us. The big thing with him is he put on 30 pounds this offseason and is still able to move, going from playing that left tackle at about 230 to right now he's playing about 265 to 270 depending on the day, and looks real good. Those are the big ones that we have. We have Tristan Compton, my son, who will be one of the few defensive starters coming back from last year. Started at defensive line, has really picked up some attention as a long snapper in this offseason, going through Coles camps and things like that. Really excited about, we have a couple of receivers that are coming back that were key players for us. Carson LaPlante, which is our athletic director, Brad LaPlante's son, oldest son, good little slot receiver, crafty, does a really good job. Brayden Anderson played for us at slot receiver. He's in 25 class. And Devin McMarion is also coming back, and that rotated in at that starting outside receiver. And over on the defensive side, will be a lot of new faces. One guy that ended up playing quite a bit of H-back stuff for us last year is Tyrese Hargrove. He's moving into that Mike linebacker position, outside linebacker, depending on which personnel grouping that we go with. He kind of backed up Brody last year, and so didn't get on the field a whole lot as a linebacker, but did a lot of H-back stuff for us. Excited to see him grow. And I think, the strength of our defense right now will probably be our defensive line. We have those guys back with Tristan, coming back, Chris Smith, Colin Wilson has done a great job. And in the back end, the one starter that's coming back is Steven Galindo, tall safety corner type guy. Had a great off season, put on a little bit of weight and is having a great spring football.
All right. So walk us through the district you're in and what those teams you think are going to look like on the field this fall.
Oh man, our district is rough. When I'll start it off with the one that's closest to us is Weiss. They have, Vernon Hughes taking over there, a good friend of mine. He's got some phenomenal players on his squad. And so they have, big defensive tackles, safeties, wide receivers. They got the total package. They got some good young offensive linemen. And then this year they'll have their quarterback back that got hurt last year. So they'll be a very tough team. You head north a little bit. Waco Midway, I think Coach Anderson does a phenomenal job. He's kind of got, had the injury bug up there a little bit right when they were starting to figure it out. And, but he does a great job with his guys. Temple's going to be Temple. They're going to have all kinds of athletes. Coach Stewart's son will probably be back there as the trigger man for them. Was a really good JV quarterback for them this year. Got some quality reps there. Harker Heights with their change, they lost quite a few guys, but I mean that program really has those guys going up there. Coach Tony Johnson at Coppers Cove has some big offensive linemen. Got a couple good skill receivers. Showed some flashes last year. I think he'll, in year two, he'll really have that group going. And then Ricky Tullis over at Bryan does a phenomenal job with his guys. They got some big ones coming back, and lost quite a few of their offensive linemen. But I think skill wise, they match up with pretty much everyone else in the district.
All right, now you've been around Texas high school athletics for a little while. What, in your opinion, is the biggest challenge facing high school athletics in Texas right now?
I think the transferring, almost, a lot of talk of the open transfer, and then now the new talk of bringing the NIL into the high school aspects of it. I think that's it's opening a Pandora's box that I don't know that we really want to go down. I think, so much movement happens, as far as there is a lot of growth, especially kind of right here on the I-35 corridor where, bunch of new Hutto being one of them, lots of housing growth, with the new places coming in with Tesla, Samsung, and things like that. And, just the mobility of kids of being able to go from this school to that school makes it a lot tougher. It's not the same as when I was in high school, and that was the high school you grew up in and you stayed there for every year till, you graduated and you went back on your 10-year anniversary and everything else. It's a little bit different these days.
All right, so let's go from big picture to small picture. Let's try and learn a little bit about Will Compton. What would you say your number one guilty pleasure is?
Number one guilty pleasure. Oh man, if I'm gonna go food, I'd say my guilty pleasure will probably be some burnt ends. I do a lot of barbecuing on the side, and so that's like one of those where, it's fatty, your stomach's going to be hurting after you get done, but they're so good and so worth it to have those burnt ends.
Yeah, good taste and good pleasure, but you definitely pay for it later on.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much for your time today, and best of luck at wrapping up the school year and heading into the 23 season.
I appreciate it, man.
LoneStarGridiron.com. Access the complete history of Texas high school football, over 100 years of information, win-loss records, coaching histories, individual stats, records, and more. Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football.